One additional very important lesson that I learned fairly early in my career, probably sometime in the 70s, having graduated from law school in 1971, was to be very careful about what you say and to whom you say it. And I can think of one very dramatic example, which was amusing to me and my client, but certainly not to the people on the other side of the deal we were negotiating. The deal had to do with drilling supplies and services in a field off of Thailand. And we were negotiating prices and terms and conditions of the deal in Houston, and spent the morning in a conference room doing what you do when you're going to negotiate deals. And then we broke for lunch and went to the elevator, and there were only two on my side, me and the director of this particular area for the client, and three from the suppliers who were Thai. Anyway, we went down in the elevator, and in the course of that, the people on the other side were chatting away in Thai, and I certainly couldn't understand anything. And the representative of the client I was with was this great, big, tall Scottish fellow, red hair, very white skin, a typical North England or Scottish person. Spoke with a brogue. I almost went into that. And so the fellows on the other side just chatted away, and we split off when we got downstairs and went to lunch at different places. And when we sat at the lunch table, my client said to me, "You know, I speak fluent Thai." And I was shocked. Here's this big, red-headed Scotsman. Who could ever imagine such a thing? But I said, "Well, how?" And he said, "Well, I was stationed in Thailand for a very long time for various companies, including the client. And he said, I learned it. I have an interest in cultures and languages." And he said to me, "You know, I knew everything they were saying in the elevator, including their strategy and what their lowest price that they would sell us the goods for." So I was shocked. And I said, "I don't know what to do with that." And he said, "Well, let me handle it." And I said, "Fine." I went back, sat down at the conference table, and he opened his mouth and said something to the effect, "Well, I know the lowest price at which you will sell us these goods is X, Y, Z, but I'd like a discount from that." He said this all in Thai. And I think those fellows are still sitting at that table with their mouths open. And they were just completely shocked. Who would have thought that this fellow would speak Thai? So the lesson of that story is keep your mouth shut. You know, you never know who's listening, who understands what language, whatever. And even if you know everybody's speaking English, or particularly if you know everybody's speaking English, don't mention anything about what you're up to. Wait till you get out of wherever you are to speak confidentially. Very important. I've seen situations where lawyers have spoken outside a courtroom and they didn't realize that some assistant or other person affiliated with the other side was standing right next to them and caused major problems. So be very careful, be circumspect, talk only to your client or the person that you want to understand what you're saying. And that goes in personal life as well as professional life. You never know to whom you are speaking. You know, you may say something nasty about some person and only later realize that it's their mother you're talking to or some extreme situation. I've seen those too. Anyway, that's a pretty dramatic example, but an accurate statement of what can happen.